why don't we start by identifying exactly what is meant by organic? Many people here, maybe all of you probably already know what that means, but I get the question all the time. What is that? And the National Organics Standards were actually implemented in 2002. So, that you can be assured that all labeled organic products have been manufactured without any chemical additives that are often found in conventional foods, such as aspartame, hydrogenated oils, petroleum-based artificial colors, blah, blah, blah. All the bad stuff. You can be assured that if you see the organic seal or organic label on a product, then it is manufactured without any of these products in it. Okay, so there are still some regulations for these labels. So let me tell you a little bit about what you should know when you see the labels on organic foods. 100% organic, just that. They are manufactured with completely 100% organic ingredients. And it can carry the USDA organic seal. If it just says organic, you can still know that at least 95% of that content is organic. And that's still awesome. And it can also carry the USDA organic seal. Made with organic, that means that at least 70% of the content, and that excludes, of course, water and salt, is organic, and the front panel can display the phrase made with organic and then up to 3 specific ingredients. So for example, made with organic apples, or made with organic whole grains and corn. Now, if there's less than 70% of organic content in the product, they actually can't put the word organic anywhere on the front panel. And the only place they can put the organic is in the ingredient label, labeling specifically what ingredients are organic. So that's really great, because if you're seeing that word organic, you are guaranteed that you're getting a product that definitely has at least 70% organic, products inside it. Okay, so what exactly does the term organic mean? Well, according to the Organic Trade Association, organic refers to the way agricultural products, that is fruits, veggies, corns, grains, are grown and processed. Organic food production is based on a system of farming that maintains and replenishes the soil fertility and vitality without the use of toxic and persistent pesticides and fertilizers. Organic foods are minimally processed without artificial ingredients, preservatives, or irradiation to maintain the freshness or integrity of the food. In other words, they maintain healthy soil, which in turn grows healthy plants, and which on their own are more resistant to pests and disease. And instead of using bug spray that we, the consumers, would ultimately be ingesting, they use safer methods, such as beneficial insects, crop rotations, among others. So, okay, great. Why is organic food better for us? Okay, here we go. So we all know now that certain nutrients or certain foods can provide us with important nutrients our bodies need. You know the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Well, what if you knew that that same apple contains fewer nutrients than it did when that saying was coined, so that you'd have to eat more apples to get the same nutrients to keep the doctor away, but that each apple actually contained over 30 pesticides. So basically you'd have to eat more fruit to make up for the nutritional deficiency, but that means eating more chemicals, potentially exposing your body to chemicals that have a damaging effect on your body when you're trying to do something that's good for your body. Are y'all like, what? Yeah. Okay, well, the most important thing to take away from there, and it was a shocker to me too, is that I said that apple contained fewer nutrients than it once did. Sadly, this is true, and there are numerous studies that show that there has actually been a really substantial drop in the nutrient levels in crops from the mid-20th century all the way through to today. According to a report by the Organic Center in 2007, government data from both America and the UK have shown that the concentration of a wide range of essential nutrients in the food supply has declined in the last few decades, with actual double-digit percentage drops of nutrients such as iron, zinc, calcium, selenium, and other nutrients across a wide range of common foods. Even a comparison of certain vegetables grown even just at the end of the 1990s showed that they had significantly less amounts of iron, calcium, vitamin A, and vitamin C than those only grown in the 70s, 22 years earlier. More data compiled by the U.S. Department of Agriculture revealed that since the 1940s, the mineral levels in fruits, vegetables, meat, and dairy have declined substantially in conventional foods. So, you know, over the last half century, farmers have doubled or tripled their yields of food. So we're making so much more food. Unfortunately, the way that we are usually doing this is through the work of agricultural scientists, crop breeders, and large manufacturers of things like fertilizers and pesticides, sophisticated machinery, and even diesel fuel. And this might be really great for their bank accounts, but really it's not so great for us. And the reason being is they've really robbed the crops of their nutrients, and the way they've done this is by depleting the soil through the use of all these practices. It has depleted our soil. So another thing that they looked at is actually a change in the plants after being sprayed with pesticides. So not only are we really ruining our crops and robbing them of their minerals from the ground up, but we're doing it on top as well. And that there were studies done that showed that the actual application of pesticides reduced the amount of things such as vitamin C, which was one of the highest impacted after it had been sprayed on. So, you know, really, they're getting you from top and bottom. And actually, like I said, the nutrients that were most depleted this way were vitamin C, beta carotene, and the B vitamins. And I think Gigi went over some of the reasons, you know, we really want those in our diets. So, alternatively, organic farmers really strive to save the soil that produces the food that we all survive on. And one of the books that I look at a lot, called Chemical Free Kids, said at the heart of the organic orientation is a reverence for the soil itself. The idea that soil must be handled with care to continue producing a nutrition-rich bounty rather than being abused, exploited, and worn out, as it is now by the agribusiness culture that has largely replaced the old-fashioned family farm. The Rodale Institute says that healthy food can only be obtained from healthy soil, and believes in making soil quality as important to the public as air and water quality. You don't hear about it as much, but you know, we wouldn't think twice about making sure that the air we breathe and the water, you know, we make sure to vote on every kind of law out there to protect ourselves from contaminants and those things that we take into our bodies. We should also be thinking that way when it comes to our soil that grows our food. So it would therefore seem to be a no-brainer that the food grown in this type of soil would therefore be contain more nutrients than conventional food. And in fact, there are several studies that do show this. In 2008, they did a review of 97 published studies that compared nutrition quality in conventional and organic foods, and did find that the organic foods contained higher levels of 8 of the 11 nutrients that they checked for. Evidence also shows that phytonutrients, which are actually antioxidants in the plants themselves, and really are in a higher quantity in organic foods because they need to use their own defense systems to fight against the pests and the disease when they're not being sprayed with chemicals. This increases the antioxidant levels found in the foods. So they found higher levels, actually up to 40% more than conventional produce, of lycopene in organic tomatoes, polyphenols in organic potatoes, and flavonols in organic apples, and resveratrol in organic red wine. That was an important one to me. Okay, so, all right, let me skip over here and just tell you that, okay, so basically what I'm trying to tell you here is that this type of food, and there are many studies that will show you that obviously the food has higher nutrition. There's a lot of naysayers out there, and a lot of people, a lot of studies that will tell you there haven't been any conclusive studies, and really if you look into this further, you'll find that it's because a lot of the studies are flawed. But even if you forget everything I just told you, there is another part of this argument that I had mentioned in the beginning. One was making the food more nutrient rich. Well, obviously the other part of that is trying to avoid toxins. And I think we all know that that is something that we want to do and keep our bodies free from toxins. Really quick, I'm going to tell you about this YouTube video that I just saw that was so great and it sums it all up. And it was called Why Eating Organic Food Should Be a No-Brainer. And it was this young guy, and he's got this table spread out in a typical California neighborhood. He's got an apple, baby food, juice, and a salad sitting on the table. He says it's all organic. And then he puts on ski goggles and a surgical mask and big rubber gloves. And he says, okay, now we're going to turn this food to conventional food. And he pulls out a big jar of Raid, sprays it on the apple, sprays it in the yogurt, and says, okay, well now we've turned this all into typical conventional food. And he picks up the apple and goes, anyone hungry? And then he kind of gives a face, as if he's getting a response. And he goes, oh wait, sorry, I forgot to wash it off. And he sticks it under the water, and then he holds it up again. He goes, okay, what about now? Now, I don't know about any of you, but I still wouldn't eat that. And I mean, it oversimplifies it, but it really does, it is sadly the truth. So let me really quickly tell you a little bit about why, one of the reasons, especially for kids, you do not want to ingest food that has been sprayed with pesticides. The existing safety regulations are really based on each pesticide themselves. So they'll take a look at one pesticide and create a safety level of it. Well, the truth is that on most produce, there's a variety of pesticides that have been sprayed onto those plants. So you're getting what is called a cocktail effect. And studies have shown that this cocktail effect can actually increase the toxicity by 100% of the one particular pesticide that they talked about. And then another reason is that these have all been chosen as acceptable levels for adults. So when considering possibly for your family and the way you want to eat, it's real important to understand why children and babies are much more vulnerable to these toxins. Their digestive systems are more efficient than adults at absorbing foods, which is great. It enables nutrients to get through quickly, but also will absorb more of the toxins. Their kidneys are immature and not as proficient as excreting harmful substances, so they're going to circulate in the body for longer. So just a couple things to continue to consider. Now, really, real quick, I just want to tell you that I have a whole list in the back of or a document here you can take a look at of studies and the connection between pesticides and disease, but I'll just give you a really alarming overview. Israeli researchers have linked symptoms such as headaches, tremor, lack of energy, depression, anxiety, poor memory, dermatitis, convulsions, nausea, indigestion, and diarrhea. Did I leave anything out? I'm pretty sure not. I feel like one of those drug commercials where you hear the millions of things that go on. All, of course, associated with the dietary intakes of pesticides. Belgian research has found that women diagnosed with breast cancer are 6 to 9 times more likely to have the pesticides DDT or hexachlorobenzene in their bloodstreams. Okay, so really quick, I hear the music going on. I think I'm at the Oscars. Okay, well, let me just let you know that I know one of the biggest concerns about going to an organic diet is cost. And it is true that the organic foods do cost more to produce. Hopefully that'll change as the demand continues to grow. Some studies have shown that official household spending in Australia and the UK reveal the average family spends 5 times more on junk food, takeout, alcohol, and tobacco than on fruits and vegetables, and 5 times more on recreation. So to make healthier choices, maybe this means we might also have to not go out to eat as often, or make different choices. So the bottom line here is organic food better for you? In my and many others' opinion, yes. Really decreasing one's toxin burden and increasing one's intake of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants can have a significant impact on health, especially when you're trying to improve or restore your health. And organic food isn't a luxury. It's really how food is supposed to be, and a valuable part of any regimen intended to maintain, improve, or restore health. So, hopefully this will give you a better understanding of what organics is, why it's important to avoid conventional foods when you can, and how you can incorporate an organic diet into your life. So I thank you so much for your time, and God bless.